Good evening. I think I figured this out. I hope. um, it is almost midnight, and I have finished doing some work for some students, recording, um, and I was also thinking about the things like I've been studying on. Um, so as a teacher is always a student. I hope, at least I am. So I tend to consume a lot of information, and today, I don't know. I think last night, or actually a few nights ago, I'll just say this is really close to the full moon, which is in about 2 more days, and we as humans tend to feel the pull of it. Like there, and most of us know that the ocean tides are dictated by the moon, and there, I feel like there's also this whole misconception about people acting wild during a full moon. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I know that there is that feeling that pull. I know for me, I can only speak for myself. I get insomnia. Like I really do feel like something's pulling me, like not hard, but energetically speaking. And so there, yeah, it keeps me from feeling like I need to get my sleep. And so I don't know. So yeah, I've been consuming a lot of things in the last few days, information wise, for myself, for my own spiritual practice, and for coaching purposes. And today I was listening to a lecture about changing habits and changing programs. Um, the one thing that this particular person just kept saying was mentioning seven, how developmentally, and as a teacher, I know that there are things we can't teach a child because they're just not ready for it. And when a teacher says that, it's like, that's why, like their brains aren't ready for that. So we start in education, start understanding that children understand bigger concepts at about age 7 or 8 years old. And again, this speaker, this particular person, he kept mentioning how when we are from, and it's true, from birth until about age 6 or 7, a child consumes so much information from around their world. In that first chunk of life for them, they are nonverbal. And so what they're doing is taking in information by what they see and what they hear, what they touch. They can't ask questions. They can't push back on information that's given to them. So they are they are literally like a product of their environment. And because they are a product of their environment, they're just taking it in, literally like a sponge. That's how they learn how to to sit up, and gain that muscle. They learn how to hold things. They take those, cues from the people around them. They learn how to walk and talk pretty much the same. They listen, they absorb. And this is again where the spirit and the science are coming together. And it's making me really excited that more and more people are aware of this. So he mentioned Jesuit priests have a saying. It's like give them a child for 7 years and you have the man. Something to that effect. So it's knowing that in this world, at least a few hundred years ago, these Catholic Jesuit priests, I think they're Catholic, but Jesuit priests, they knew how to make literally the mind and the personality of a person. 7 years from birth. Okay. Um, and that's, in education, that's what we've learned. And this particular speaker, this is what he was talking about, that our brain waves are at a certain level at certain ages that are, I guess, more sensitive than less sensitive. Like this lecture was really long, so I'm going to do a quick search, but I do believe, I think from my other studying, like the alpha state is where people learn in general. So I'm just assuming that the alpha state is also where most children at a certain age are naturally. Okay. So let me just do a quick search. And I'm putting in alpha waves in children. Let's see what comes up. Alpha waves in children. Alpha between ages 5 to 8. The brain waves have changed into an alpha frequency. Okay. And then the alpha frequency is 8 to 13 cycles per second. This is the point at which analytical mind begins to form. Okay. I'm not making this stuff up. All right. Children in this age group tend to have a foot in both worlds, using both left and right brain hemispheres at the same time. So, yeah, alpha is, where most people learn. So I would like to know, like, I'm a little curious now about babies. So I typed in Google alpha waves in children, and now I want to know alpha waves in babies, because again, that's another jump in their development. Okay. That's not really giving me much. They're talking about the EEG of the newborn. This is curious. Yeah, this is very curious. So this is the kind of stuff I just nerd out on. And it doesn't even matter. So what's so funny, I'm starting to learn how to just do more lives on YouTube. I go live all the time on Facebook when I'm performing. But here, as I'm, I guess, learning how this is just really big, YouTube, and anyone literally can be perusing by and get to know you and be in your world, which again leads me to more things I'm about to talk about. So this might get a little, I don't want to say woo-woo, because I'm telling you the science right here. So yeah, so at least Christianity, they knew. And, like that's when you develop that person. And what this particular person was talking about in the lecture I was listening to is that we pick up all of the negativity and all of what is out there in the world, the subliminal, if I'm even saying it right, the messages that are given to us through advertising and marketing and culture. A child is sucking that in. And again, I think most of us already know that. And what it is, I think this person, he's on to something where it's time to unlearn those habits. And I'm sure like in in psychiatry, they already know this. But I mean on like the spiritual level. So it's more than just having like do this stuff. It's like you kind of have to do some spiritual surgery to basically get your mind right. And he mentioned hypnosis, and he mentioned um, hyper learning, for which again makes me really curious. I want to know more about that. And then he mentioned basically behavioral therapy, things like physical things you can do to unlearn bad habits or bad memories attached to things that happened, like basically trauma. So yeah, so I think the Magic 7 is other things in that you hear about. Well, I don't know what most hear about, but every 7 years, you basically get a new body. Every 7 years, you find yourself in a new developmental state, at least physically. So, okay, so let's go back again to the whole like birth to 7. So, yeah, there's that. Then from 7 to 14, you're an adolescent. Yeah. Okay. From 14 to what's the next 7? 21. Developmentally, your frontal lobe is still a little underdeveloped, but it's getting there. And then the next 7, 28, that's when, fun fact, when insurance companies decide that your rates go down because then your frontal lobe has more reasoning in it where you don't do crazy things. So there you go. So yeah, so every 7 years. And then, okay, so then you have 28, the next 7, 35. That's when you could be run for president. Ah, it's a little creepy, but then we got 42. You know, it's like I don't know, 42, whatever, and then on and on like that. So yeah, so if you think about it, yeah, the magic of 7, very interesting. So I definitely want to hear more from this particular person. I don't want to put the name out quite yet because I've heard some of his stuff, but then this is like yesterday and today was kind of like the first time I really was like paying attention. And that's what happens also in habits and in spiritual development. It's like all the things that we do need, they're already right here, but we might not be ready to see it and know it. It could be here all day long. And until you say something like, I don't know, a red pencil, then you start to notice and see the red pencils everywhere in your life. They've always been there. The same is true for like ideas and concepts and stuff like that. You just got to be ready for it. And so I think this is what I was doing on Friday night. I was looking up, I was just curious. Like I've heard about, of course there's first dimension, second dimension, third and fourth dimension. And I was like, I keep hearing about fifth dimension and I kind of maybe might know what it is, but I'm not quite sure. So that's what I ran my search on and into YouTube and was just trying to see do I know what that is? I have kind of an idea. I feel like this YouTube is fifth dimension. I guess from what I understood, again, I could do a search again, is that fifth dimension closes time and space. So, okay, so if we're now we're trickling over to spiritual talk because, right, I gave over the biology here. Now, spirit. So if you are, I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this. Fifth dimension. Not sure what that clip was for. But the fifth dimension is like, so third dimension, you see things. You've got, length, height, with. Okay, that's the three dimensions. In the fourth dimension, from what I understand, is like thought, what you are thinking, I guess the mind, right? And fifth dimension, I'm guessing now, I guess from what I understand it to be, is like it's all of these things, but then closing down space and time. So things are just instantaneous. And I'm starting to really believe this. I'm getting kind of meta here. I'm really starting to believe that YouTube is that. I really feel like that. That, and I've kind of thought about that for a while. Like, oh, almost, I don't know, like at least for a year or so. It's like I really feel like, especially during lives, because I've watched lots of lives. During pandemic times, right? So I, um, I don't get out, and so connecting, I guess, and reaching out or hearing people, conduct their live and just talking, and then you type something into the chat, and then they read it, and then they respond to you, and it's like, oh my goodness, it could be like, you know, how can I explain it? And then other people are saying it too, all at the same time. It's almost like we're having a separate but together moment. And yeah, that's what I feel like is fifth dimension. So it's separate but together. So let's just say, for example, I don't know, if I was watching somebody do a live in California right now, I'm in Atlanta, and that person doing a live in California is obviously doing a live into YouTube, and somebody in, I don't know, Japan is responding, and that person is answering them, the Japanese person that is there, and I am also hearing that response in Atlanta, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this I don't know, like, I don't know. As I keep growing and learning, let me just do Google really quick, because I heard my other pinging, so I have a lot of windows up. So I'm still trying to shut down from work. I life coach and career coach a lot of musicians and other creative types. So I tend to, I work odd hours. So that's how it goes. You also might want to check out the podcast I'm putting together. I'll mostly have it here on, again, YouTube, but if you ever find me out here, that's what I'm doing. So I'm looking up 5D. What? Now, this might end up being like the whole cell phone thing. I don't know. What is, maybe I shouldn't say D, 5 dimensions. Yeah. Or the fifth dimension, not the band. All right, so the fifth dimension is a micro dimension, which is accepted in physics and mathematics. Not as woo-woo as you think so far. Okay, here we go. It's here to have a nice and seamless tie between gravity and electromagnetic. Ugh, that's a big word. Electromagnetism, or the main fundamental forces which seem unrelated in the regular four-dimensional space-time. That sounds like what I just described, right? Hold on, let me break it down for y'all out here. So the tie between gravity and electromagnetism. So that's how they're just saying the same thing. So gravity is electromagnetic. That's how we're here, stuck on the planet. Have a seamless tie. I don't know who wrote this. So a seamless tie between those two, but it's the same thing. But anyway, or the main fundamental forces, which seem unrelated. So like I said, space and time, unrelated forces. in the regular fourth dimensional space-time. So I'm thinking the main fundamental forces coming together with gravity's force. Yeah, things are coming to you attracted instantaneously, crushing space and time. Ooh, this is good, y'all. I'm telling you. I don't know, just again, even spiritually thinking, I've been getting a lot of downloads lately. So I do read, I don't even know what to call them, what most people call them. I'll give you the titles, but the Emerald Tablet, that has always been confusing for me. Um, I've read and I have a copy of the Kabbalion, but the Emerald Tablet was a little much. And as I had just said before earlier, where sometimes when you're ready, then it is there for you. So I read also again, oh yeah, so taking in a lot of information and I guess downloading a lot of information too now. Fifth dimension is here. We're here. It's no, so excited. So anyway, so yeah, Emerald Tablet. So I listened to it audiobook style, kind of like as a almost going to sleep ritual for me. And then I started to get it. It started playing it like I knew it was told in storytale fashion, like fashion, um, fiction. So, but it started making sense. I would hear, I was like, oh, okay. And then I started to realize, it's like, I don't know, I guess now it's starting to unlock some things for me. And that's great. So yeah, there was that. And then the next night, so I guess this started even before Friday. So maybe Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday. And I went and listened to the Hermeticum, again, another text that always been a little bit confusing to me. So let's see if I could. Hermes Trismegistus. Sorry, Hermes Trismegistus. Toth. So yeah, we're getting deep over here. I'm telling you, I'm sorry, or not. I'm not. So yeah, so I went ahead and listened to the Hermeticum. Hold on. And then while at the same time, so maybe I did unlock something. This is funny. But while I was doing that, there was always another book that always confused me of like mystic drawings from the Renaissance in Dark Ages or Dark Ages and then Renaissance. It is called the Leader Meter, I think. I'll look that up. Let me look that up right now, because I have it, not personally, but I've looked at the pictures and they're really beautiful old ancient pictures. Maybe I need to, let's see. I have it saved on my Pinterest, so sometimes it's just easier to just pull up Pinterest. There we go. And thanks for hanging with me. So with Pinterest, I have a board that is a more spiritual board. Oh, interesting. They're saying having trouble connecting. Well, I have my phone. But I was at the same time listening to the Hermeticum, and then I was also looking at the pictures of this text. And I'll tell you the title. Let me get to my board here. I have a lot of boards. I have a lot of Pinterest. I like Pinterest. It's nice. It's a great way to visualize and manifest. It's great. And where is it? Maybe it'll show up in, you know how well Pinterest works in a way where kind of I guess it was before or right around the same time as Instagram, and but then at the same time Pinterest is kind of, it reminds me a lot more like Facebook. It's like if you start uh, putting together a board, then it starts showing you more, even though you did not choose those things on your feed, it'll start showing you more things that you could like, so just like Facebook. um yeah. And so, oh, okay, I see one of the pictures, but yeah, I just went in, I'm telling you. I was like, I can't, I have to see, will I be able to understand these? And these aren't the exact pictures either. Okay, wait, is this it? No. But those, actually, this is the one I really want to know the meaning of. And I don't want anybody to tell me. So that's part of it. So, sometimes our spiritual journeys, um, our mystic journeys can't involve people just telling us. It has to be the discovery. So that hand, I'm, hoping this information comes to me about the hand. Um, but there is, like I said, another text. This kind of looks like it. No. And I'm not even remembering how I even knew about this book in the first place. Um, and what I ended up doing was downloading it, and making it, PDF, and put it on my big desktop, and just literally like across my whole face, reading reading those pictures. And yeah, maybe it's in my search. Let's see. It is, I want to say it is, a Latin text. So it's something meter or meter. Meter. Yeah, I really wish I could find it. But yeah, so at the same time, the Hermeticum and the text, I just started taking it all in. And then again, both started to make sense at the same time because they were linking up. I was like, it's like if you've ever done like a book on tape with the thing, like I grew up in the 80s, so sometimes you would get those tapes with the storybooks and you read them along with it, kind of thing. So that's what it felt like to me. It felt like I opened up the book and then I listened to the other text, a different text. And then it all started, just syncing up together again. And yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I kind of, yeah, and because of that, I was starting to feel like I'm just getting more and more, and things are starting, like everything is correct. And it's almost like, again, crushing that space time, getting the things I need when I need them are right there. And they've been there, but I've had the veil, like film, it feels like, over my vision. It kind of reminds me of like this labyrinth, but the labyrinth is clear. You just don't know that underneath the layers of the labyrinth, as you have like this way to get in or out, the next layer is out, and you still must weave, and you still must search, and you still must, seek out. Okay. Again, about the spiritual journey, it's not always about, like I said, somebody telling you. You've got to seek it. Okay? Seek it out and really want it when it's there. And again, this is my hope, my hopeful manifestation that I will find those who are seeking and not just, I don't know, looking to be okay as a victim. And again, yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Maybe this live will be the one where I'm not trying to, I don't know, I don't even want to be what they call viral. I'm not looking for volume. I'm looking for those who are seeking me, you know, and that is the fifth dimension. I really feel like that is. I really, really feel like it is. And okay, so maybe it's under this board called alchemy, because changing your mind, all those things I just mentioned earlier in this live, about how we get all this information, and it is a program inside of us and into us, and it turns into a recipe also, because some people might get some messages and some people might get other different messages, and it swirls in, and then all people get, like groups and chunks of people get messages that are the same. It is oh my goodness. But anyway, so I feel like I'm like downloading this information and it's all starting to make sense, even like right now. All right, so here, so this is a page from the text, but it's titled Hermetic Studies Series 4, but that's not the name of, the Mutus Liber. Mutus Liber. So this is the one of the images. Mm-hmm. And I'll go to the website because I think this is the website I found. Because again, it was on my board, Pinterest. Yeah. So the Mutus Liber, I will put it in the chat for people out there. I like in general old drawings and maps. I feel like it's art to me. I like it a lot. So I think I also ran across this this book because I was looking for other like artwork that's like authentic, you know, that is out of public, that is in public domain. Another tip for those creative types out there: you can use art that's not in that is in public domain. I do it all the time. So there's that. And then, so yeah. And from what I remember, it means something silent, like the silent book, something like that. Mute book, mutus, yeah, mute book. So I don't remember exactly how many pages it has, but I was only looking at maybe about, I don't know, 30 pages. And the Hermeticum was linking up with this. And I was thinking, and if the Hermeticum was before the Mutus Liber, then that means whoever made this read the Hermeticum, right? And I don't even know why. Like I didn't, like I said, I totally have never been able to like figure out what that book is or was. But I had it in my Pinterest because I like the pictures. I found it because of the pictures. And yeah, and I I like these kind of trippy drawings anyway. It's like, I'm esoteric art, yeah, I'm into that. And I didn't know that it seems as though that the book is a visual representation of at least the Hermeticum. Okay. And yeah. So if you've hung with me so far, I want to tell you now, thanks. You might as well subscribe to my channel too. Because that's how, I feel like sometimes people need to know, are you legit or not? as far as like whatever it is you're putting out there on YouTube. Because yeah, I've watched lots of YouTube, as probably a lot of you have, since the shutdown and things like that. And you can tell even on camera who's legit and who is not, and who's trying to make sure that they, if they're trying to make a living using YouTube, yeah, they're doing, certain things, but then you can tell, who's faking it and who's just trying to get, this surreal type life, that people want to watch and stuff like that. So you can tell. But when it comes to like watching somebody do a live, like you really, now you see how they are, and in the things that they know or what they know, because they embody it. Last year, my word of the year was embody. I don't know if I have a this year of the word yet. I don't know. So yeah, this year or last year it was embody. So I'm not just, sitting around. I study, but I study not to be a coach or a life coach. A lot of the stuff I just know, I have embodied it, and I just have that curiosity for things that are beyond or in conjunction with or all the same mystic, esoteric, ancient history. So, I'm legit, so it's like, if I can sit here and for the last at least 30-ish minutes be able to just give you all of this information, imagine what I can do if I was one-on-one with like, a client that was ready and they found this video crushing the fifth dimension, or later on, because, or actually still fifth dimension if you think about it. So like, this video will go, and I guess I'll keep it up, we'll see what happens. I'll keep it up, and somebody will watch it in my future and they will know what was their past. If that makes sense. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but yeah, it's like I really do feel like there's some people who are, I don't want to call them fakers, but they're definitely out there not really being, I think they're, putting on a show, which, hey, put on a show, whatever, do it for whatever reason. But when you see somebody on a live, and like I said, I'm just pulling out this information and I'm, getting these ideas. And like I said, I was getting the downloads and stuff. And I'm telling you the stuff I'm doing, it's like, oh, okay, you must actually really know this stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm trying to. And I'm not going to say, again, sometimes the best teachers are also still students. We're always still asking why. And I know I've said this in a lot of pre-recorded videos that are on my channel, but we are living inside of an explosion. We really are. We're living inside of an explosion. And I was also even thinking, oh yeah, that was something else. I kind of wanted to go on Facebook Live just to interact with some friends, because I have a friend who she is currently, forget what island she's in, but as of this recording, there was a volcano that erupted on Tonga Island, the island of Tonga. Let's see if I can find her. But I saw that she was, putting things on Facebook tonight. So I was like, ooh, okay, so she's good. But also finding out that there is a tsunami watch in Japan. That's the reason why I mentioned Japan earlier, because I had been watching that. So yeah, it's like, all this stuff that's happening all at the same time. And I'm sitting, maybe another reason why I'm doing this is because we're about to be hit by, I don't want to say a snowstorm, but because I live in Atlanta, we're probably going to get ice. But North Georgia and all the area above Georgia is most likely going to get a lot of snow. And all of that is happening all at once. So snowstorm, tsunami watch, volcano. And again, it's the fact that I even know this and now you know this is like 5D crush. So again, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I really do hope that the right people find me. That is always my hope. If you are ready, then I'm ready too. Let's call this my message in a bottle to the universe. Because we live inside of the universe, and the universe is an explosion. There's more than enough always. And again, I know I've said that in a few videos before. So I'm trying to think, like, if I leave this up and I have this other life, I'm trying to think of when would be the best time to do lives on a regular basis. And I'm trying to fit this back into my life that was before the shutdowns. So I'm still a performer. I still go to my band practice. And I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe Friday nights. And I know a lot of people, are, I don't know what they do on Friday nights, but I mean, if I was, I had a gig, it might be on a Friday night. So there you go. So on the flip side, if I'm giving a gig, then somebody's coming to the gig. And maybe on the Friday nights that I have my band practice after that, because I get home so late, it's, pretty much almost Saturday morning, like crossing over midnight, that I don't know, maybe that might be the time. I don't know, because I'm not looking for high traffic. And this also reminds me of like ham radio. You know how, again, this dates me, but I like old things anyway. So people used to have, I guess, radio clubs or CB clubs or something like that, and they would go on different frequency. This is it on a higher level, believe it or not. So as I'm saying this, I need to write all these notes down. It's going to be an interesting description of a video, but I want people to know exactly what happened here, and maybe they'll actually, stick around. But yeah. And my cat is answering. I don't know where he is. Oh, he's right behind me. Sorry. I think that's why he's making sounds, because I hit him. I'm sorry, babe. So yeah, they're CBs, radio club, on AM frequency. So again, this is from my background in communications, mass communications. I double majored music and communication. But anyway, so radio club, like I guess what, 70s and 80s, that was the thing. And so what people would do would be like, I'm sending a message to somebody, can somebody hear me? And then on the other end, somebody's probably, rolling their dial and, checking out the airwaves, and then they catch somebody and then they start to interact with each other, that kind of thing. And again, this is it. This is YouTube. It's it. This is so meta. It's so meta. But yeah, this is this on the higher level now. Like seriously. So yeah, so I don't know. I'll put ham radio next level in the description. This is gonna be fun. I'll say YouTube is I tickle myself. But anyway, so trying to remember all the things we talked about. Okay, so Magic of 7. And biology, brain waves. I guess this is how it's done. I don't know. I just feel like this instinct is how most people do it. Because I don't know, if you're doing lives, I've been watching lives. I've watched so many of them, different kinds, where they're just talking and talking and talking and talking. But then when you see their titles and sometimes their descriptions, it's like maybe at some point in time they were taking notes while they were doing their lives. I don't know. But so yeah, so some biology, some brain waves, talks about changing habits in life. We talked about creative. No, actually, we did not. Ooh. So I did write some notes before, while I was listening to the other night. So there, when it comes to habits, so there's the subconscious mind, and that's where your habits live because you just do them, right? Yeah. And then your conscious mind is the creative mind. And that is sometimes the fourth dimension, as some people like, I think it is, playing out. But yeah, there is that's where all your habits live in that, you know, subconscious. And you get a lot of your programming, things like your motor, find all your motor skills, all of them. And then it becomes self-conscious. And even when I'm giving music lessons, I would instruct people to make sure you hold your form and do it religiously. Hold your form so that way it sinks into a habit, and it just is. It just is embodied again. Ooh, yeah. So then write embodiment. Write more stuff. I know. I'm sorry. I don't know. See, he's here. He's hiding. Okay. I like to think that he's a griffin. Yeah. Are you a griffin? I'll put that in my description too. This is gonna be crazy. My pet griffin. You gotta watch to the end. Yeah, so fifth dimension, and golly. Yeah, with the changing of the habits, subconscious, consciousness. So yeah, the subconscious. So I have notes. I like that my type of learning. Um, I feel like I have all the three because again, as a musician, I've had to learn how to do all the three. uh, and I guess a fourth one too. Ooh, another dimension. So again, uh, I like physically and saying it, and of course I'm seeing it. So that's the three. With when it comes to learning. But yeah, so yeah, I'll I'm hoping at least in the last, I don't know, 10 minutes, 10, 20 minutes. I'm trying to go for an hour. I don't know. Should I? Probably. I don't know. But and what's so funny, it feels like I do hour sessions all the time, again on Facebook, and they go by so fast. But this, again, maybe I've been stretching time and space again, but this feels like, oh my goodness, for like the longest time. But yeah, I'm getting tired, like, I don't know. But yeah, so I'll put in the conscious and subconscious. And what else did I do today? I don't know. Basically, Oh, the volcano situation. Watch that. News, volcanoes, tsunamis, snowstorms. Ooh, that sounds very musical. Volcanoes, tsunamis, snowstorms. Volcanoes, tsunamis, snowstorms. So this is the silly side of me, in whimsical side of me that I don't. In the end, when we are our purest self, you don't take yourself seriously. Deep down in yourself, at least when you start to feel enlightened, and it's like you feel free, you feel light, and it's there that you feel childlike, and you just feel like, it's whatever. And it's not like you just don't care. Um, for example, over in the corner here, let's see, I don't know if I can turn my camera. I have it set up like this is my studio setup, but studio as in recording setup. But I have a book next to my copper cup goblet over there, and it is called The Book of Joy by Desmond Tutu and the Dalai Lama. So Desmond Tutu recently passed. Again, telling you this is so cool. Like not cool that he passed, but cool that all this is like, if you're happen to watch this, and who knows, where all this is happening, that the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu, they were such light-hearted, whimsical, and people. And the Book of Joy talked about that, about how they just, they each had a life that had struggle and had hardship, but then they have this atmosphere of just like freedom in their soul, in their spirit, literally. And because of that, I guess that's what makes them who they are as a religious leader. And yeah, so this is, like I said, I chuckle often because that's a part of me, being me. uh uh Not that I think everything's funny, it's like I think it's all so magical and whimsical and like special too. Sorry, I'm just reaching right off the camera here, but I'm still looking to make sure I get down my notes because the marker is bleeding through. Maybe I need to grab a better pen while I'm at it. Yeah, I'm trying to do the hour. And yeah, so this is my little setup for when I'm doing my life coaching over here. Over here, I like to try to make it more recording, like I still give music lessons because telling you, I love all the things I do. Like people think, I don't know, that's again, when it comes to this life coaching thing, people think that they have to be just one thing for their whole entire life. And that's the programming. See, back to it. In the subconscious, like you were told by television, you were told by, again, let's see if we were all of age between the age of radio, the age of radio and the age of television. So between the I want to say 40s, 30s, 40s, on up until 2022 now. Okay, that's media. That is, I know now some people are going to be like, see, that's the programming. Yeah, it is, but it's also the messages. I'm talking about the messages that they sent into society. And those messages they sent into society, they've programmed, yeah, the subconscious of the, maybe not people of a certain age, but younger, impressionable people. And I was, again, putting together some materials. Like I said, I was recording something for some clients earlier. That's the reason why I had everything set up, and why the reason I'm doing a live kind of in the middle of the night, I guess. But they were, lost my point. But yeah, so I was trying to, I forgot my, oh goodness. See, and of course my cat he's mad at me. I'm talking. Maybe talking too much. I don't know. Oh, here it is. Sorry. But just that fast, I move things and I set things down. But yeah, so I think my last thought was actually I'm getting a pen that I can write on with this, so I can properly title this YouTube video so that the right people find me, and so that we can all come together. Oh, sorry. So that we can all come together. Grabbing a pen, look at my griffin. And that's going to be on my list. I'm back. Huh? Yeah. So yeah, so he's very precocious. No, he's 15. He's 15. And he talks, as you just saw. All right, so let me add more to the list. So griffin. He's a griffin. Or Griffith. Griffin. You know that thing. That bird cat thing with a tail. But he has no tail. But his tail is there. He's a manx. Put that in. But his tail is mystical. It's there, but it's not there. So yeah, so let me add more things to this list. So again, yeah, being lighthearted. To me, that's like, you feel, I don't know, you just feel the joy. You feel the joy. So Book of Joy, yeah, see, that's how it goes. The Book of Joy. And all that entails in there. And I don't know. Yeah, so Emerald Tablets, talked about that too. So, and you know what's so funny? Maybe it does work this way. So when I was, I don't know, experimenting, or I guess just perusing YouTube for the first time, I was, when they finally had that feature of the lives, I think I was kind of just, I was using them for music lessons, actually, in the before times. So it wasn't like I'd never used YouTube at all. So I was using it for other things for my work. But when the live feature started, I guess, I don't know when it was, but you would scroll, of course, and then you would catch a live, like somebody's like doing a live, and that's kind of how it all starts, really. And then I guess more people started arranging the lives a little more, like, frequently and things like that. I don't know. That's what I feel like. So if I'm doing this live in the middle of the night on the East Coast in the United States, then there are people, hope maybe on the other side of the world, who speak English, and for some strange reason their set of keywords or whatever have them find me, because most people right now, it's about to be a snowstorm, okay? And I don't think I don't know, maybe they are. I don't think they're out there looking for lives right now, those people. Yeah. So yeah, I think we're getting to the end, to our hour. Yay. Okay, so, and just like most cats, they leave doors open, and I don't know how that got open. He's mystical. But anyway, all right. So emerald tablets, and then we have made it to the hour. Yay! And I already put fifth dimension and all that other cool stuff. So life coaching. So I could be the life coach for you. I'm telling you. Funny. And I'm a musician. Yeah. Well. Okay. Just want to make sure I have everything. And now I gotta go close that door over there. And yeah, it's late, but you know, it is what it is. Hope you hang out again if you're with me all the way to the end. I might do another live. If you made it this far, I'll say this. You tell me when's the right time for you. And we'll see what we can do. All right.